Real estate has a 40% footprint globally of climate impact, both from energy consumption and use in terms of materials that come through. Everyone focuses on transportation when it comes to climate change and those emissions, but it's buildings which are like a big source, right? And we also have that vision that it's not only the right thing to do, but it's also a better business case. Sustainability, a lot of people look at it as something that they have to do. There's been pressures created globally, institutionally, regulatory wise to force people to think about it. And that's a good thing, but at the same time, I think inherently a lot of us now feel that it's the right thing as well, and commercially it also makes sense. And I'll take you an example in terms of real estate where we are, that in the past, maybe the cost of making a building sustainable with basic things, for example, insulation, glass insulation with allowing the heat and cooling to remain within the building, the difference might have been 40%, 50% in terms of cost. Now it's kind of come down. Technology has allowed a lot of these things to come down to the extent where the strength of that glass is actually maybe more cost effective, and that insulation of that glass is more cost effective. So the cost element to creating sustainability is come down, which means that it's actually better business sense as well. We have to think about the life cycle of a real estate. So we are also looking to operate real estate. So it's not just constructing it and walking away from it, but constructing it and maintaining it. So again, it comes up with this discussion around capex, opex. Do you put in less capex, cheaper materials, but then you have to spend a lot of operational expense to maintain it. You have to have stronger air conditioning or stronger heating or more lighting or less lighting. So that cost over the life cycle of that real estate asset increases. So you need to look at it the holistically. And again, the energy conservation, the light, optimization, sound, and all of these things come into play at the design stage. Therefore, we are using, and so in our developments, we're looking at this by looking at how do we measure it. There's a known way of measuring it called LEED, which is led by the US Green Building Council. And it basically looks at buildings and the design perspective in terms of what footprint they're going to have in terms of climate change, but they measure it on a point system, and you get certified as silver, gold, platinum. So we have, as part of our kind of vision, gone for LEED Gold with all our buildings. So our first two developments, both residential, commercial, are aiming to be LEED Gold certified. And that allows us to measure it as well. Subsequently, like I said, apart from the cost side, cost curve coming together, but also on the customer side, you have commercial tenants that now want offices that meet certain criteria, sustainable criteria. They may want it just because it's the right thing to do, but they may also want it because their clients require it. So if you're an exporter in particular, whether you could be a technology company, you could be a textile company, but you have clients outside who are buying and want you to be green, then they start looking at also at your office spaces and how is that sitting. So the demand grows on that back as well. In the residential space, I think people are becoming more familiar with the impact that they have on the planet and want to have and live in greener spaces, especially if the cost level is not drastic. So all of those things, and obviously renewable energy is an element. Solar is something that's quite apparent. It's easier on horizontal developments, but even in increasingly on vertical developments, we're seeing technologies that allow solar to come in. So all of those things are fairly exciting. It means we feel good, but it's also a good business case.